In this video lecture, we will go through vapor pressure of solutions. Before this video lecture, we have already understood in detail the vapor pressure of liquids, how the vapor pressure of pure liquid builds up, right? So just to quickly recap, if this is a container that contains a pure liquid, right? So liquid molecules that are at the surface, right, will start evaporating, right? And when the number of molecules that have escaped into the vapor phase has increased, that is when the vapor phase has been built up, right? There are too many liquid molecules in vapor phase, then some of the molecules will come back into the liquid phase, that is reverse process will start occurring, right? So here evaporation is occurring when liquid molecules are entering into vapor phase, right? And some of the vapors are condensing back into the liquid phase, right? So initially rate of evaporation was high, right? And after some time when the after some time when the vapor phase has been built up, then some of the liquid or vapor molecules will start condensing back into the liquid state, right? So at point when the rate of evaporation is equal to the rate of condensation, we said that the vapor pressure above the liquid surface is your vapor pressure of liquid, right? So when rate of evaporation is equals to rate of condensation, or we say when this equilibrium has been attained, the vapor pressure above the liquid surface is your vapor pressure of the liquid. Now vapor pressure of solution. What is vapor pressure of solution? Solution is, if I take this liquid, right, and if I make a solution, suppose I make a solution of water plus glucose, right? We know that water is volatile and glucose is non-volatile, right? And this is your solute because this is in lesser quantity, and water is your solvent. This is in higher quantity. So this is solution of non-volatile solute, right, in volatile solvent. This is your solution of volatile solute, which is glucose, in volatile solvent, right? So the vapors would only be of water above this liquid surface, right? Why? Because glucose, the solute that we have taken, is non-volatile, so it will not contribute to the vapor pressure. Only solvent, which is water, that will contribute to the vapor pressure, right? But what is the effect of adding this non-volatile solute to this volatile solvent, right? Here, when this solvent is in pure state, that is no solute was added, right? At this point, this surface, we said that evaporation is a surface phenomena, so we would be considering molecules only that are at the surface. All these molecules that are at the surface is of solvent, right? Here it's only solvent, no volatile or non-volatile solute is there, right? So this is your pure liquid, right? So in case of pure liquid, all molecules that are at the surface of this liquid, right, has tendency to escape into the vapor phase, right? So surface has all the liquid molecules that can escape into the vapor phase. Right, so surface has liquid molecules that can escape into vapor phase. Now let's see here, let's compare here. Here I have added non-volatile glucose, right, which is a solute to this solvent, water. So let's say earlier when there was no solute added, at the surface we have only molecules of solvent or this liquid, right? So now, like here, so some of the solvent molecules here would be replaced by this glucose molecules in the second case, right? So suppose here we have these solute molecules, right, and these are solvent molecules, these are solvent molecules, right, and these are solute molecules, right, and we know that solvent molecules are volatile and these are solute molecules are non-volatile, right. So here vapor pressure would be due to volatile solvent, right. Now here I said that some of the solvent molecules are replaced by solute molecules, non-volatile solute molecules. So I write in this case some solvent molecules are replaced by solute molecules, right, which I repeat again, which are non-volatile, right. So compared to pure liquid, we have less solvent molecules, right, at the surface that can escape into the vapor phase, right. So we have less solvent molecules that can escape into vapor phase, right. So here solvent molecules are more, right. Let's denote this by number of solvent molecules as NP, number of solvent molecules in case of pure liquid. Now here we have less solvent molecules that can escape into vapor phase. Let us denote this by NS, right, number of solvent molecules in solution. This is number of solvent molecules in pure liquid, NP. And we know that in this case some of the solvent molecules have been replaced by non-volatile glucose solute molecules, right. So here in solution number of molecules of solvent, right, is less than number of molecules in pure state, right. We have more solvent, volatile solvent molecules in pure solvent and we have less volatile solvent molecules in case of solution. Why? Because some of the solvent molecules have been replaced by your solute molecules. Why? Because solvent molecules are replaced by solute molecules that are non-volatile. Non-volatile means they will not contribute to the vapor pressure because they will not vaporize or evaporate, right? So here, since we have less solvent molecules that can escape into the vapor phase, so vapor pressure in case of solution would be less than vapor pressure compared to pure solvent, right? Due to less volatile solvent molecules. And why we have less volatile solvent molecules? Because some are replaced by non-volatile solute molecules, which is glucose in this case. So vapor pressure of solution would be less compared to the pure solvent, because some of the solvent molecules, volatile solvent molecules at the surface, are replaced by non-volatile solute molecules. So this will result into less vapor pressure, right? So vapor pressure of solution is less than that of pure solvents, right? Due to, again, volatile solute molecules, right? So addition of non-volatile solute to a pure solvent will result into lower vapor pressure, or will result into less vapor pressure, right? So addition, I just write it over here, addition of non-volatile solute in volatile solvent will lower the vapor pressure of pure liquid, right? It will lower the vapor pressure of pure liquid, right? Why? Because we have now less number of solvent molecules at the surface that can escape into vapor phase. Or we can also say that now we have less surface area for the liquid molecules to escape into vapor phase, right? Or we can also say it like this. In this case, we have less surface area for solvent molecules, due to which less solvent molecules will escape into vapor phase. Less solvent molecules will escape into vapor phase. And why we have less surface area? Because some of the area has been taken over by this non-volatile solute, which is glucose, right? And which does not participate in vapor pressure, right? So in all, addition of non-volatile solute to a volatile solvent will lower the vapor pressure, right, of the solution. So the vapor pressure of resulting solution would be less than that of the pure solvent, because at the surface now we have less volatile solvent molecules, or we say we have less surface area, right, occupied by these volatile solvent molecules, right? So in all, vapor pressure of solution is less than that of pure solvent, and this is known as Babou's law. This lowering of vapor pressure, right, of solution is your Babou's law. We also call it as Babou's law, right? I hope all this is clear to you, right? Thanks.